All right. Looks like we're live. Just want to get the stream up on this other window first. I'm not sure. Okay, let me just mute that. Okay, so I can see it up here. Sweet. So, just wanted to contribute to this open source plugin. So, with a bit of context, I guess, there is something on GitHub, semantic release, which I was using, and there was a bit of an issue with it where it was trying to detect whether it was running in a continuous integration environment, uh, which basically is some sort of tool where you can run your jobs to run the build, the tests, and everything else to get it going. And as part of that, I was actually using a thing called GoCD, which is a free and open source CI/CD tool. And I noticed that it wasn't actually detecting that this tool was running in a CI/CD when it was running on GoCD. I thought it was a bit strange because GoCD is a reasonably well-known one, I would say. And I just wanted to have a look, why is it not being used? Like, why is it not detecting that this is actually a CI environment? And I had a quick look at this, which we can actually just quickly clone that one. I want to go to my workspace, clone that one in there. And then in semantic release, just open that, and we can actually see how these things are being used. So we can see, how's it detecting that it's running in a CI environment? We see is CI. It's getting some context, some environment CI from the context. So if we look at the context, it's in this run function. And when I was looking at this, it was basically being set up somewhere. Yeah, around about here, setting up the context. So there's still context. This is still in the run function. Let me just minimize that. Yeah, so you got the context. You've got the environment. Yeah. So here you can see in the context there's this object called environment CI, which is calling this function environment CI with the environment which is just the process environment. So this holds all your environment variables. It could be anything, but let's say you've like exported GoCD test equals whatever. Or let's actually make it make sense. And you could be running this at, I don't know, gocd.mycompany.com. I guess you could just do like gocd.tech in this case, as an example. That's where you could be running your GoCD, and GoCD could be exporting this environment variable, and these all exist inside that. And maybe I can show something really quickly. Let's just test it first. Make sure everything's okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah. So just to give a really clear idea of what this is doing, this is a terminal, and I can actually print all my environment variables in there. So I can just hit that, and it shows everything. So in this case, these are all the exported environment variables that, if that program was running, it would find these. And in Node, you can actually go process.environment, and it has everything there. And this actually just gets exposed as a JSON object, which is really awesome. Now, if we go back to semantic release, we want to understand, okay, so it's putting the environment in the context, and it's also putting this environment CI in the context. Well, what's this? Well, we can see, actually, this is some node module called environment-ci. Now, if we go in here, okay, environment CI, what's that about? Like, what is this actually doing? And we can go back to Firefox, you can see, okay, environment CI, if we go, I've already forked it, but if we go back to this one, this is the original package. And this is just basically finding all the environment related pieces and putting the context of it running in a CI into that. So you actually get all these different pieces or variables exposed by this environment CI. So you can see the name, it'll expose what is the name of the CI you're running in. The service, just a standardized service name. CI is the main one that we actually saw, which would be true if it detects that it's running in a CI, otherwise it would be false. And then we've got a few other things as well. But the main thing is, if we go back to the code, it's taking the environment and it's exposing it. So we want to understand, okay, well, it's not actually saying that it is a CI. Because back up here, where I minimized it, this CI is coming from environment CI, and it's false. Potentially, like one of these are being set as well. But yeah, well, you can actually see it's more up here, I believe. Yeah. So it'll go, if it's not in a CI and it's not running in dry run and there's no CI, or there is a CI basically, then it will say it's dry run. So it will never actually run as if it was in a continuous integration environment. So that's tricky because then we have to go, okay, well, what's causing that? We have to go to the environment CI and see how that's implemented. So in here, you can see this is the index.js. I've already opened that. And there's a bunch of services. This is all the different CI environments that people have implemented to expose those variables like is CI, and so on and so forth that we saw before. So if we go to the index, we can actually see, oh, there's all these services. We don't see any GoCD. So obviously, no one's actually implemented it for GoCD yet. And then in here, it just exports this function, which goes through all the services and sees, does this service exist where I'm running? Basically. And so we will go through each one and say, well, for the name of this, run this function called detect, which each service exposes. So if you think of AppVeyor, Bamboo, Bitbucket, so on, each one of these files or JavaScript code, which is an object basically, will expose this detect function, which you can then use to determine whether it is actually running on that environment. So to quickly show what that looks like, we can go to the services and we can say, I don't know, Bitbucket, for example. It exports this detect function, which takes the environment, which in this case is the environment variables of where it's running, and it returns a Boolean of whether this environment is set. And if it's set, then it will say, yeah, I'm running on Bitbucket. So therefore, if Bitbucket underscore build underscore number is set, or in this case, exported, if we export this, and we ran that locally, this plugin would actually detect that it's running in Bitbucket, even though it's technically not. But that's just it's just a quick, easy way to figure out where am I actually running? Where do I think I'm running? If someone exported this for some unknown reason, then they would think that they're running in Bitbucket even though they're not. So we got the basic understanding of how it figures out where it's running is based on that detect function, which each service exports. And it just goes through them. If it doesn't detect this, and this is actually what I had to check out to figure out how I could quickly do it without having to contribute back yet. So I had a feeling I wanted to contribute, but I didn't want to just go straight into it and waste a lot of time trying to get that in, and also have to have the uptime of waiting for them to merge it back into their develop and or master or whatever it is. I think it's master. Yeah. And wait for them to merge it back into master and also package a release onto npm, and then also update the semantic release program and update the plugin there, or the code there, modules I should say there, and then publish that to npm, which would take forever. So what I did was I actually noticed this line, which makes it really easy to say, yeah, I'm running in a CI, even though you never detected I ran in a CI. And that's basically just setting this CI environment. So you can just go export CI equals true. And then when you do that, this code will go, yeah, you're running in a CI, even though I don't know which one it is. And I'll set this appropriately. And then it just does this extra generic git configuration one, which is kind of nice because it means that it'll give you some commit and branch in the environment that you can access as an object. But then if you look at this and go, okay, that's great, we can export that and we'll get it running fine. That's awesome. And that's really good for maintainability. You don't have to keep adding, or not really maintainability, but more usability of, or generic, the way that it's more generic, that you can use it to say that, well, even though we don't define every possible CI here, you can still use it to pretend you're in a CI. And you could do that locally. I mean, all of this could be done locally, because if you understand how it works, then you just have to set the conditions so it goes like that. Now, in this case, we want to create one for GoCD. So we would probably put it in here as a service, but before we do that, let's just create the service under services. So we go GoCD.js, and then if you look at, I don't think Bitbucket is a good example, but we could do, I think GitLab's not too bad. Yeah, we'll just work with GitLab, and we can see exactly how they do it, or have done it in the past, and we can effectively do the same thing. So we want to put put the docs where environment variables are explained for GoCD. So we'll do that in a second. Let's get rid of that for now because we don't really need that. And then we want to export this object, which has this detect function with the environment, and it should return a boolean of some environment variable. Not sure yet what that will be. And then we also have a configuration function, and in that we return an object, which will save that. I think this is running prettier. Not sure. Format my document. Cool. Yeah, nice. So that actually has prettier setup. Does it have the prettier file? I don't think so. So it doesn't look like it relies. Oh no, it does have prettier. Cool. Easy. Alright, so we've got prettier, we've got that going. Interesting that this doesn't conform. Maybe it does. Okay. That's fine. We're not going to get too worked up on styling and whatever. It is what it is. But now, okay, so we can easily start filling this out. We can say go CD is the name of the CI/CD that we're working with. Keep it all lowercase. This sometimes I refer to GoCD as Go. I don't really like that because there's a programming language also called Go, which makes it difficult to understand GoCD or we're talking about the language. But I want to be clear, maybe this is called Go. And then we want the commit, which would then be exposed as some environment variable. So let's just keep that like that for now. Tag. What's the commit tag if that's exposed? Possibly it's not. Kind of hate that when. Maybe let's just do it like this, so it's not freaking out. And then the build. I think this is the build number. Build URL. This might be a bit tricky. Job. Just environment. Job URL. Branch. Now, I don't think we need to do this because it's not branch-based building. Like, there is a branch obviously associated with the original material that you build off. But I think the way GoCity works is it's not... You can see actually there's some PR and is PR variables. These aren't really how GoCity function. So I'm going to put them there, but I'm probably going to get rid of them pretty quickly. Let's just say false for now. I know that's going to be a Boolean. And we'll set that to environment, slug, environment, and root. Be environment as well. Now, I think we are missing some, potentially. We can actually see in the README, it describes exactly what these things are. Let's preview this because it's a lot nicer to preview. So we've got name, we've got service, is CI. Oh yeah, well that will be exposed in the text, that's fine. We got branch. I kind of want to put these all in order, the way that they've done it. So there's branch, there's commit, there's tag, there's build URL, job URL, is PR, which we'll just set to false for now. And the thing is, these can actually be totally excluded and they can be undefined, which you can see pretty easily with some of these. Like this one has hardly any, the Team City one, which is fine. There's some get properties thing. That's interesting. So there, yeah, so there's some extra coding that someone's had to do here to get the Team City one working, which is cool. That's fine. We got is PR, we've got PR, which again, I'm probably going to get rid of those. We got the PR branch, and we'll get rid of those ones. Slug and root. Alright, so we've got all the pieces that we need. Now we need to find out what environment variables GoCD exposes. So if we go back here, we've got GoCD. Yeah, see, they actually call it Go here. They have Go and then the logo. Is there an easy way to find out what they prefer? No, I don't care about that. Alright, so GoCD environment variables. So we can see what environment variables are exposed. I go to this. No, sorry, not that one. Yeah, this one. I go to this page very often. So we've got the Go server URL. We've got everything else. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put this on my second screen, just because it's a lot easier. And we're just gonna start nailing this out. So we've got the Go server, which how did these guys? Yeah, so let's say GitLab CI is some environment variable. We could do it however we want because these environment variables are exposed every time it's running in GoCD. So we could say, for now, let's just do it like this: Go server URL, just the URL of the server. I was just seeing like, oh, is this set? Yeah, it's set. So then for we detect it. At least I think so. I haven't really played with this. Let's just do some quick experiments. So we've got node, and we can say boolean of process environment go server URL. It says false, but what if we export that now? So go server URL is something gocd.me. And then we open node again, and we say boolean of that. I have a feeling it's going to be true, but let's see. Yeah, okay. So that's basically just testing to see, is it set or not? Because if you take the boolean of some string, it's going to be true. So you look at that, it's true, but if you take the boolean of undefined, it's going to be false. Same for null. Does node have nil? I can't remember. No, it doesn't. Alright. So we could just test any of these environment variables. We've got quite a lot, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we've got the name, we've got the service, we've got the branch. Okay, so is there anything related to branch here? See, I'm gonna put this back on main screen just so you can see what I'm doing. So we've got the server URL, environment name of the current environment. Okay, that's fine. The pipeline name, counter, label, stage name, stage counter, job name, trigger user, so who triggered the job, revisions, which I believe that's the commit hash. I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't really expose too much, to be honest. So we don't have even the branch. There might be a different way to figure it out. But right now, just environment variables doesn't look like it's possible. So let's just comment that one out and say not exposed through environment variable. Right, the commit. So we want to know... Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I wanted to say exactly what these things are because sometimes it's not really clear. So this is the git tag, this is the build number, that's really easy. Link to the CI service build, this is the job number. I don't think there's really the concept of like a job in GoCD, it's more just like a run. So it's running, and this is what it is. We don't want PR, what's the slug? Yeah, so it's not PR based, I already know that, so I'm just going to get rid of them. And of course that needs to be a comment. And the root, the path to the directory where the repository is being built. I'm not sure how that actually gets set, because I'm not sure what that really means. So the path to the directory where the repository is being built. Okay. Interesting. So, I think there should be something to do with emoji. There should be a plugin for this. I thought I had. Might just be the way that this README, the Markdown parser works in VS Code. But I thought they changed that a while ago. Yeah. Not sure. Let me just look at this for a second. It reckons my upstream's okay. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my YouTube stats and it's saying that the upstream's a little eh. It's actually capped at 2500, I guess. Yeah, streaming rate bit rate is 2500, but it wants, what does it want? It wants 4500. I think I can hit that, but because what's 4500? Yeah, I mean, obviously. 4500 kilobits per second is 4.5 megabits. Yeah, I can easily hit that. No worries. Okay. Hopefully the quality is okay. Maybe let me just check that as well. It doesn't look too bad. All right, cool. That's fine. All right. So let's go back to what we were doing. Yeah, that's right. I wanted to see what this route, how other people treat this route. So reach CI project directory. Let me have a look. GitLab. Maybe let's just search environment variables for GitLab. Okay. GitLab seems pretty good, but I've never used it before, so not too sure. GitLab environment variables. Yeah, I want to see what you expose. I care about custom. I just want to see what you expose to me. List all environment variables. Yeah, sure. Example values. Is this in here? CI project directory. Builds, GitLab, or GitLab FOSS. So I wonder if that's on the server. Yeah, I don't think GoCD exposes that. There's like job name. Oh, okay, so there's actually name the current job being run. Yeah, okay. Actually, that's not too bad. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So you have the pipeline, and then inside that, well, you have a few things. You have stages and you have jobs. The stage will be the highest level outside of or inside a pipeline. So you could have three stages, and inside that, you can have multiple jobs inside a stage. And then even further inside a job, you can have tasks, but we don't really care about tasks. Jobs can, I think jobs run uh, parallel to each other inside a stage. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But anyway, if we go back to the code, let's start back to the top again. So we don't know the branch. Do we know the commit? The commit could be the revision. So it says the current source control revision being run when using only one material. So does this refer to the commit hash? Yeah, how do I use GoCDs to put git hash? Go revision. Yeah, guys, so this actually is the commit hash. Makes sense. So yeah, so that's the source control revision, which in this case, well, we're using git. Usually, you will use git. Most people use git these days. So let's take that and put that in there. Now we know what that is, so we can just remove that. That's fine. Git tag. Now I don't think this is exposed. I wonder if we could figure it out. I'm not really sure if it is a good idea to run some sort of binary. Yeah. See if there's any reference of tag. Stage, a stage. Yeah, it's all staged. Okay. So we don't have git tag either, so we can just... what did I remove? I removed... Oh no, that's what I removed. So that should be go rubbish. Sorry. I thought I removed something else. I'll come back to figure out which ones aren't supported later. So the build is the build number. So that's easy. That is just the pipeline counter. We know that straight away. So bam, go pipeline counter, put that in there. Now we need the build URL. This will take a bit of figuring out because we don't know exactly how it's going to work. So I'll come back to that. Now the job. It wants the job number, which I'm not sure if this is exposed either. Because we've got the job name. Let's see. Go job. Is that the only one? Yeah. Okay, that kind of... Yeah, I don't know if that's what they're really referring to, or is more like stage. Because each CI has different terminologies that they like to refer to things are. There's no one standard. It would be nice if there was. It'd make any sort of DevOps related tasks a lot easier. But we have, yeah, CI service job number. So what is the job number? I want to see what else. CI job ID. So is it? It's like, what's one that I know? I don't really know many of these. What's git expose? Oh yeah, that's right. We looked at before. What is one I know? I haven't really used Circle CI, but I know about it. I don't think this has a... Oh no, it does. So it takes the build number and adds some index. Okay. Interesting. Puppet. I should probably spend some more time understanding it. Puppet doesn't have much. Which is... I don't know why you use Puppet as a CI. Same with Sail. All these are kind of Team City, I think we looked at this one before, right? Yeah, this doesn't have any. Possibly this get properties is exposing something. Some properties file, which then, you know, it gets expanded. I can't remember what the proper name for these three dots is. Brain is just like, what's code? I don't know. Alright, so job number, I don't think we can really include that one. Because there's no number related to the job. There's the job name, which I think is the next variable that they expose. There's nothing related to, like, what run is this job? You've got the stage, but I don't think the stage is what they're really looking for. Which maybe they are. Because the thing with other CI CDs that the way I understand it, I've only really used GoCD. But it doesn't seem like they really have much of a concept around stages. It's more just like, there's a pipeline and you have jobs in the pipeline, which effectively is a stage in our context of GoCD. So I think we could actually just get away with doing it this way. And we say the job number is actually this thing. It is the Go pipeline counter. It's not really unique. I'm going to do it for now. But the thing is, this is the count of the stage. So two different stages are going to have the same job number. They totally can. So verify if this makes sense. Let's just say that. And then the job URL, well, what could the job URL be? The job URL is getting to this stage. Yeah, building these URLs, I'm not running this locally at the moment on this machine, so figuring out these URLs is going to be a little tricky. I don't know if I could be bothered to run it. I wonder if they have GoCity Online, GoCity Sandbox? Pretty unlikely that someone's running it. It'd be really nice if someone was. Uh, GoCity. It's just some forum. Okay, I don't really care for that. GoCity Online sample. I don't really know what to search for. I don't think it's going to exist. Simple demo environment. Okay, so someone's made a Docker Compose for it. I could always do this. Because there's GoCity server. And then agent. GoCity server / go. I wonder. Because I could probably just clone this and then get the latest version. Let me just try this really quickly. I just want to see if it works. Workspace. So just clone that one. And let's go GoCity demo. And let's open that. And we want to use the latest one. So let's go to Docker Hub GoCity. Cool. So it's GoCity server. Just the latest one is. What's the latest one? Come on. Which is this one? Version 20.10.0. Which we can put here. Yep, that's what I want to do. I want the agent as well. So let's go. Can I go cd agent? I'll probably just do Alpine. Or maybe Ubuntu. Yeah, let's just do Ubuntu. Docker. Yeah, perfect. So we want that one, and let's go here. Bada bing, bada boom. That's done. Example pipeline. So maybe this gets read? Not sure. Okay, sure. And in the README, what do they say? I just want to quickly see what this guy says. Docker Compose up. Yeah, just expose on localhost. Yeah, you can do programmatic pipelines, taking the API. It's just really old style. It's not really how it should be done anymore. You can still do it like this, as far as I know. But there's so many better plugins and whatever for that you can use. Way, way better. So we go Docker Compose up. Let's just hit that one. It didn't copy. So I'll pull the GoCD server Docker container or Docker image. And it should get the agent as well. So this will, once it downloads, it'll start. This should be pretty quick. Hopefully. I don't know how big it is. These layers already done. Looks like it's just these 2 layers left. So, almost finished. Alright. Just extract that. Okay, so this one goes to the agent. Get that GoCD agent down. Let's go. It's almost done. It's taking its time. Alright, what's the problem? Yeah, address is already in use. How do we do this? I haven't done Docker Compose in a while. Okay, so yeah, it's exposing it to that. Let's just go 8080. It's the safe one. Alright, Docker Compose up. Beauty. Connection refused. Alright, let's just see. Localhost 8080. Yeah, cool. So running go cd. Starting. That was really easy. Thank you for that. Okay. Cool. So we're running go cd now. I kind of want to just... Okay, so it's not going to let me in until I create at least one pipeline, which I don't really want to do, but we'll just leave that for now. And we want to figure out, maybe I have to just quickly create one. Git, let's just use this one. Why not? Test connection. Sweet. Easy. Master, I think the default's master anyway. We don't need a username password because it's open anyway. Regularly fetch updates only on webhook or manual trigger. Okay. Interesting. Deny list and allow list. Sure. Pipeline name. Test pipeline. I want to just quickly make this thing stage 1. Job 1. Save. Echo. Hello. Cool. We're done. Alright, so we've got this test pipeline, which uses this repository as a source, which has already gone and started on me. It's basically just going to clone that stuff and it should just run. Oh, it doesn't have an agent. Yeah. I need to assign it an agent. Did that agent show up? Doesn't look like it. I think it just failed to connect. Yeah, this agent just failed totally. Anyway, we're not going to debug that because we don't really care about the agent running. Can we stop this job? I haven't got used to this new UI yet. I was using version 19 for a while. It's new version 20.10. They've changed the UI quite a bit. Alright, so we got the test pipeline. Now we can sort of really see how the URLs are built out. So we can go back to what we were doing before. And we don't need this anymore. Oh, I wonder if that just killed it. I hope not. Oh no, it should be in the background, hopefully. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to behave, but it seems okay for now. Alright, so the build URL is a link to the CI service build. So this is linking to the actual build itself. So possibly we could do the VSM. I'm just trying to think, like, in the context of that, like, what makes sense? Because you don't want the console logs stage details, but that's like, this stage is the details. I think it makes more sense to be like a value stream. Because then this is like, this is this run. So run X is this. Yeah. So basically it would be, what's the Go server URL? So it actually has /go in there. Okay. And we just want like slash pipelines. So build URL is go server URL. And we just build an environment variable out of that one. Bada bing, bada boom. And then it's slash, oh, I already got that in there, slash pipeline slash value stream map. Name of the pipeline, which I think is exposed through a different environment variable. Pipeline name, so we got that environment variable, so we can build this really easily. Like that. We want to grab it from the environment. And then we want the pipeline counter, which will say like, well, for this one, we want this. So that will build out what we want. Let me get rid of that one again. Make this a bit smaller. So what does this do? It goes go server URL, which is blah, 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 slash go. Then we do slash pipeline, slash value stream map. Actually, I wonder whether this is backwards compatible. I don't know how it behaves with older versions of GoCD, because they always change things. I'm going to have to check that out. But we go slash go pipeline name, slash go pipeline counter. And that will just bring up the VSM, which is the build URL, basically. Because there's not really any other view in GoCD that makes sense for that particular context. Alright, so we've got the job, which I think we're going to leave this one anyway, for now. And then the job URL will be something like... Well, again, we're saying that the job is the stage, right? So we'll probably have to do it like this. It's like the job run. I think that should be okay. So basically, this job URL looks like this. So again, it's the go server URL slash pipeline slash pipeline name slash environment go pipeline counter, which gets us up to here. And then we've got the stage. I want to see how this works if I don't include this number. Huh. Yeah, okay. Cool. And then I want to save that as well to see if it's the same. So let me just go back to this and go to the VSM. Because then we can compare with the versions whether they've changed it or not. We just use a different version in the Docker image. And then we have some environment variable at the end, which says the run number of the stage, which is in here, stage counter. So this is the current where you're running right now. So I don't think you can have stages named the same. I'm going to test that in a second. Because we could use some sort of hashing to figure out some unique ID or something. Stage counter, so that's the job URL. The slug of the repository currently being built. I don't think that's exposed. Project username, project repo name. Yeah, I don't think that's exposed in project path. Nothing like that, as far as I'm aware, is exposed in GoCD. Trigger user, username of the user that triggered the build. Yeah, that's not really going to be related. Dependency locator. Located bus stream effect, no. Nothing like this. This is all revision stuff. Whether material has changed. Yeah, there's nothing that exposes that Git related stuff. So let's get rid of this. What does that Git one do again? So we get rid of that slug. Slug's gone, but the Git service exposes branch and the commit. So there's some Git library in here. Huh. Basically, there's just like executing Git to find head, branch. Huh. Okay. What's the options? Ah, okay. So I was just extending that execution. Probably it's not actually going to be used. Okay, so we could actually probably just use this to find the branch. Similar to how it's done in the index. In here, they do like Git configuration. Where does this go to? Huh, okay. It just returns that. Okay. Otherwise you just import it directly. Yeah, I think it makes more sense just to import this directly and then do that. So let's just do that. Because we don't have the branch right now, but we could get it. Because it would easily be able to figure it out. We don't need the head because we've got the commit hash anyway. And then we can uncomment this. And we can say branch. There's not going to be any options. And what is this exposed? This is exposed some string, yeah. JavaScript, you don't need to put in. Every parameter is optional, so we can just leave that. Alright, and then we have. We don't need that. And. So I changed something here? I didn't think I did. But yeah, we have the branch now, so we can include that nicely. Oh yeah, and we were going to put the docs, so let me just grab that. It's more like this one. Standard environment variables. Okay, so put that in there. It's the same as any of these, which has those docs. And then we need the root. So I think this is the last piece. We need to double check these URLs are okay on different versions of GoCD. I'm going to leave that. I think calling it GoCD as a service name is fine. And let's just give that a format. Now the root. So there's a path to the directory where the repository is being built. I don't think this is exposed as an environment variable either. So this doesn't make sense either. So there is some root or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything related to what directory it's running in, anything like that. Could probably build it. Like if you run some process or something, you could probably find out pretty quickly. Yeah, I was waiting for agent. That's because the agent never came online. So like, I don't know what's wrong with it. Okay. So that was really easy. I was comparing it to GitLab. I was like, what is all these things? Oh yeah, and then there was this. Yeah, this I don't think this makes sense because the job is like the stage, and each stage, I think it should be detecting a unique stage. It's like, is this running? What stage is this running in? Because there's this like job ID, and similar in the circle one, it's like build number and node index. which I have no idea what this is. Circle CI environment variables. I want to know what environment variables are exposed. Probably this one. Environment variables. Built-in environment variables. Okay, this is what I want. Circle node index. For jobs that run with parallelism enabled, that's the index of the current parallel run. Okay. Sure. For jobs that run with parallelism enabled, this is the number of parallel runs. Oh, this text is messed up. Is this referring to this? It must be. Yeah, name of the current job. No total. This is equivalent to the value of parallelism. Oh, it's number of parallel runs. So this is how many in your job, how many concurrent nodes, I guess they're referring to in this case, are running. So you could have a job which, what do they use? They use the build number, number of the current job. Job numbers are unique for each job. So this is the number of the current job. Job numbers are unique for each job. I don't know if they're referring to job as like each run or as something else. Because you have circle job, name of the current job. Yeah, that's fine. URL, whatever. Build number. Number of the current job. So what do they use for the actual build number? Build. Yeah, they actually use that. So I guess they're referring to a job. Yeah, I can't conceptually see how this works because I never used Circle CI. The only thing I've ever used is I usually don't click on freaking ads. Yeah, I only ever really use GoCD. So it would be interesting to try out some of these. What's their pricing on this? Free, 2,500 credits a week, one job at a time. Linux or Windows? I just do Linux. Don't use Windows as a build machine. It's just not worth it. Interesting that Circle CI has Mac OS. $30 a month. That's not too bad. Oh, but yeah, I don't care for Windows. Wait, is it a VM? Well, I guess it makes sense, but I don't know how that works. GPU, NVIDIA, yeah, whatever. I want to know the concepts. Documentation, training. Let's quickly have a look at this. I know I'm not really doing what I was doing before, but it's how I easily get distracted. So we have supported languages, CI/CD. Let's just do overview. So repository coming in, yep. Circle CI API, orchestration, execution. It's really not. I want to go a bit lower than that. Core features. This might be something. Station to builds. Yeah. Station to a job. Whatever. Parallel. Have a look at this. The project has a large number of tests. It will need more time to run them on one machine. To reduce this time, you can run tests in parallel, spread across multiple machines. Use either Circle CI CLI or environment variables. Okay. Caching, of course, you want to use caching. Workflows. Use caching until caching breaks your builds because it's using some old dodgy cache, and I've had many problems with that. Operator features. Yeah, API. That's always good to have an API. Getting started. What is Circle CI? Once again, it goes back to the overview. Let's continue integration. Code just developers integrate their code into a master branch of a shared repository early and often. Instead of building out features in isolation and integrating them at the end of the development cycle, code is integrated with the shared repository by each developer multiple times throughout the day. This is continuous integration. CI is a key step to digital transformation. That's true. Why? Yeah, we know the reasons. But what is it? Developer commits daily to a shared mainline. Commit triggers build and test. Build and test fails, repair quickly. In a perfect world, that's how you do CI. Circle CI, yeah, that's whatever. I don't know. Probably try it out one day, but not for me for now. This is the GitLab one. I think I'm just gonna get rid of that one. If someone wants to contribute again and add that, go ahead. But this job at the moment doesn't really make sense. Unless it's based on the name. Actually, that's what I wanted to quickly test. I want to change this to add a new job. Stage. I need to add a new stage is what I meant. Yeah. Because they're referring to a job as a stage in GoCD. And I wanted to call it stage 1. Okay, so that doesn't work. I wonder if we can just tell that to let me save it anyway. Disabled. I don't want you to be disabled. Because the API should reject it. Job name. Job to echo hello. Save. Did that really let that save it? Oh, it's a put. So it just literally overrode that one. Haha. Oh dear. I understand why the API let that happen, but sure. Because it's basically thinking, oh, you just updated the one that already exists. Because if you look at this, it's like a put to here, which has in the request, it has everything. Has the where is it? Materials. Why is it putting all this stuff here? Yeah, it has a stage, which should have the name somewhere, I imagine. Its name, yeah. Name of the job. Yeah, name of the stage. There it is. So it's just like putting that whole object, bam, in there. Yeah, and pipeline name. So I don't understand why it needs all this extra information. It's a bit unnecessary, but anyway. If we add a new stage, I think it will also do a put. So if you call this stage 2, oh well, of course it's going to do a put. We know it's going to do a put, which did put. But I think if we I don't know what that's about. But if we update this and we call this stage 3, yeah, that's a lot nicer. That was really good. It's nicer than the 19 version. 19 version is slow and it's awful. What I want to try is I'm going to take down this Docker container. So Docker compose down. And I want to open this again. And let's just use version, I don't know, what version should we use? GoCD server, I don't think I'll start the agent. I just removed the agent in that. This thing takes forever to load. Tags. So we want to see some previous versions. Probably go back to this one, which is a major version difference. Now let's get rid of that. Comment that out. And then Docker compose up. So it's got to pull the Go City, the different tag. There'll be a couple of layers that are the same, hopefully. Actually, maybe not. Depends. Anyway, we'll just let that finish. We might see it actually say whether it's had similar layers or not. I don't think it did. But that's starting up. And we can go starting. Yeah, the concepts are a little different. Material is triggered for a pipeline to start. Yeah, that's right. I thought so. So the jobs can run in parallel. I thought at the time I was reading a while ago, it meant that jobs absolutely run in parallel. There's no choice. But that wording sort of suggests that you can do whatever you want. Well, yes, of course, because I don't have any pipelines yet. I don't want a group. I just want to create a pipeline. Yeah, okay, cool. We grab this one. Oh. It's connection. Of course, it's going to work. Yeah, leave that. And we call it test pipeline because that's what I was calling it before. And we call this stage 1 because that's what I was calling before. Job 1. And echo hello. Save. Now, of course, this pipeline is going to fail. Well, it's not even going to start because it doesn't have an agent. But I want to see if the URLs are the same. Okay, so we can actually stop this. Yeah, see how different this interface is? VSM. Okay, value stream map. That's good. What was the other one? The other one was... No, we don't need this anymore. I'll just minimize it because I want to come back to that. Go CD. Yeah, we had the value stream map and we had this. Is this going to work? Cool. Alright, that's awesome. And now I want to go back to a really old version. Version 18. What is the oldest one they have on here? 17.3. It's really old. Let's see if this one works. If it doesn't work, it's probably not a big deal. Just saying, considering how old it is. Okay. So... I think I have to... Yeah. So let's start this one up with the oldest version on Docker Hub. There's a really tiny one. At least compared to that one. That one, the previous ones had tons of layers. Right. So let that download. It's almost finished. Alright, so it's starting up. Let's go. Um, so finally, what's wrong with you? Okay. So it's doing a bunch of running some script or something. Oh yeah, that's not anything for me. That's fine. It's gonna do something else though? We'll just let it think for a second. It's not doing anything. Okay. Whoa. Okay, this is really old. But we'll keep it the same. Test pipeline. No, I don't want you to bookmark that. No. Subversion, definitely not. Default should always be Git, please. And grab that. Put that there. Poll for new changes. We can check connection. It'll work. It's open source. Test one. No. What do we call it? Stage one, right? Default job. Ant, sure. Can try and run Ant if you want. Oh, and it puts it on a construction. That's awful. I mean, fair enough. This is one of their first. Well, it wasn't their first release. It's version 17. But yeah, it's a lot better. I can tell you that. Default job. Okay, cool. So we can stop that. Oh, this didn't even have VSM. Did it have VS? It didn't have VSM. Oh no, it did. Okay. It just didn't have an easy way to get to it. So you got this looked like the same URL, right? I think so. I love that. I was worried that they were going to change it, but I'm glad they didn't. Let's see. Let's see if they definitely didn't change it or not. Haha, awesome. So it should be the same for the job. This is pretty much done. Because there's not much else we can expose with GoCD, because, you know, if they don't give it to us, we literally can't do anything with it. So this is done. We know that that's done. We know that we can't get the root, which in this case is the path to directory where, what's it say? Where a repository's been built. Yeah, we don't know that either. We can get rid of these comments because we don't need them. And the job, I think at the end of the day, we're just going to get rid of that one. There's not much else we can really expose. And then the branch we'll just get from this git lib that's included. That's pretty much it. If this Go server URL is set, we're going to say, yeah, we are in GoCD. And then we go from there. Now, the final piece to put it all together is we put this in the services JSON object in what looks like alphabetical order. And we want services, GoCD. Now, it's taking some name from the keys of services. Yeah, so it's just saying for each name in service, for each of these, go through them, and then for that name, in the services object, look up that name, which is basically loading a JavaScript object again, which is either one of these files. If we go GoCD, then it's going to go here, which is exporting these two functions. So we got detect and configuration. And then it goes detect. It detects GoCD because we have exported Go version URL, whatever it is. And then we go is true, bada bing, and we're done. So that's it. What we can do is we could probably test this. I think we can. It shouldn't be too hard because all we have to do is basically install this in some node module, whatever, and just use it. Use it the same way that it's being used in the other, in this, basically. So you can see where it's being used, environment, CI. Just grabs the environment and the current working directory. Does that take the current working directory? Not too sure. Oh, there's actually type definitions. So I have to do type definitions as well. So this guy is who did the type definitions. So I think that's separate, right? Someone's included that. Environment CI. I don't fully understand how these type definitions work. Because in here, I'm not sure if, yeah, that's like part of TypeScript included this somehow. I think TypeScript will fetch type definitions if it can. So we can actually see this type definition at types, environment CI. Just here, which is totally separate piece, but it's published under this namespace. Which I think, yeah, so it's just definitely type thing. So definitely typed is always under this at types. And yeah, it's huge. This thing is huge. It's crazy. I mean, TypeScript in general is a massive, massive. Everyone uses TypeScript these days. It's really nice. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, so we've got TypeScript, definitely typed. That means that will have to be updated, but that's not something I want to do right now. Because I don't really know it, and it's something I couldn't be bothered learning at this point. Last updated. That was updated ages ago, man. That's pretty bad. That's fine then. They're not even really publishing it. That's not a big deal. Now, if we want to consume this, what we can do is get our lat. I think I have a test bed. Yeah. Make directory test environment CI npm init, and we just bam, 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 bam. That's fine. We just want it to be a node module, and then we can install. If we go back to the party, no, actually, sorry, I actually cloned that. So we want to go back to our workspace and go repos, environment CI, install that. So that'll install it from the directory. So that will have our local one. Okay, so that's installed here, and we can actually open this. And what we can do is we can create a new file called index.js. And we want to import environment CI. I think it's just like environment CI require environment CI. And then environment CI process.environment. Why does it not like that? What am I doing? No, starting to release. I just want to run it like a script, basically. Yeah. Environment CI, that's exactly the same as what I have. And then so then we can expose the environment, and we can go that, and we could probably just log it. Probably stringify it. We don't really need semicolons, but it's good to have. And then we can run this in Node very easily. Say node index.js, its CI is false. But if we export go, what's it called? Go URL? It's longer than that. Go city, go server URL. That's what it was. So if we export go server URL equals, doesn't even matter what it is. It could be literally anything. Yeah. So we've got everything coming out now. So we've got its CI is true, we got the name, we got the service, we got the build URL, which is not quite right, but usually that would be fine because all those environment variables get exposed. And we got the job URL. Huh, interesting. Okay, so because we're not actually exposing everything that we use, I want to actually really illustrate how this is working. So let's grab everything it uses. I'm going to put this on my other screen so I can easily export these. So we say export revision. This is our hash. So hashes don't usually look like that, but that's fine. Pipeline counter can be 150. Go pipeline name is test pipeline. Pipeline, no. Stage counter is, that's weird, 1, 2, 3. So if we run this again, we're going to get the whole thing. So we go, is CI is true, the name is GoCD, the service is GoCD, just a normalized, standardized one. The commit hash is that, the build number is 150, the build URL is this with the value string map, pipeline name /150, which is the run number or the build number, and we got the job URL. We don't have the branch, but I wonder if we git init if this is gonna give us a branch. Git branch. So there's nothing, yeah. Current branch main. Why does it say master then? That's really weird. Okay. I'm not sure. That's like a weird bug in this, what's it, Starship JS or something like that. Be interesting to dig into that, but that's for another day, I think. So now we're on a branch. We can probably actually see the branch. Yeah, awesome. So because we weren't on a branch, that was just being null, so it wasn't actually setting that, which is probably what we want. I think that's great. And now setting main, so we actually can get the branch straight from that library that it was provided. So this is it. This is pretty much done. I think there were some tests, so it'd be good to write them out. We don't need this anymore. Although I will leave it open just for a bit. But if we go back here, we've integrated GoCD. We've chucked it in here and we've confirmed that it's working as if we were running on a GoCD server. And the final piece is probably these tests. So what are they running? I want to see What do they have? Dev dependencies. Not sure. Why is a semantic release a dev dependency? Oh, the that's kind of funny. So they're using semantic release to release this, which semantic release uses this. Sure. How do they do the tests? Code coverage? Tempi? No. XO? What's this? Linter? Ava? Okay, so they use Ava. I've never heard of this one. It's kind of silly how they have this oh, okay. Just open it, please. Open my Firefox window on my Chrome window on my other monitor. So this is a test runner. What does it actually run though? Okay, so I've never ran the tests on this before. So I'm guessing it's a test? Yeah, cool. So what does XO do? Ah, okay. That's cool though. I kind of like that. Services, go CD. I thought Prettier would pick that up. Okay, I guess not. So what did it fail? Everything needs to be replaced with... I think you can run Prettier somehow on the command line. What scripts does this thing have? Scripts, code coverage, lint. I just want you to like lint it and actually correct it for me. What's the point of saying you lint it and then you just say, this is what you need to fix. Just fix it. That's silly, man. Really silly. So you want me to replace... Yeah, so you want me to use single quotes. That's fine. What's the point of having that? Oh, and they want me to remove this. That's okay, but why not just have it enforced? Is it happy now? There's one more, I think. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't like spaces between the brackets or the braces. So if you run test, this should work fine. Because we haven't changed anything. Oh, there's a code coverage issue because we're not covering GoCD at all. Alright. So we can probably see how it's exported. I mean, how these tests are running. I don't really know what I'm saying anymore. GoCD.test.js. Let's see how they do a GitLab test. But I never used this Ava framework before. So let's just put that on the side. And we require Ava. Obviously, we want to test the GoCD one, so let's require that. GoCD. Yeah, and then we expose some environment. So we need to set these how we want it. We want to go back to GoCD, because this is the one we're testing. Server URL is... Wait, what are they doing? Ah, yeah, it's an object. Not really thinking about this stuff. I'm just doing it. Go revision is whatever. Pipeline counter, it's whatever. What else is there? Pipeline counter, pipeline name, stage counter. So we have the stage counter and we have the pipeline name. I think that's it. I think that's all we use. So pipeline name, pipeline counter, and stage counter, server URL, revision. Yep, that's it. So what do they do? GitLab CI, commit hash, tag name. Yeah, this is all fine. Go server.com. Revision could be anything. Let's just go. That's fine. Pipeline counter. 2, 3. Stage counter. 5, 6. Pipeline name. Pipeline name. Just call it like that. Keep it really simple. So test deep equal GitLab configuration. Yeah, okay. So it's actually like, oh, what does this look like? Huh. Okay. That's fine. And then PR? Yeah, I don't know. The branch is not going to work unless that's like mocked somehow. Because in GitLab, that of course that's gonna. I think I can't do that for the test, or I just ignore it. Because that branch will be undefined unless I can mock. Because GitHub. I don't want to look at the test. I want to look at. I'll look at like GitLab for example. Yes, this actually is exposed environment variables, but I don't think GitHub is. Pause branch. Okay, so it's like figure out what branch it is based on what exactly. Okay. So there's some data that it's grabbing base ref and figuring out the branch from the ref. But okay. What's this event? GitHub event path. So this is still all based on environment variables. Yeah. So unless I mock what is it? Unless I mock to do mock the git lib from utils so we can mock the branch returns basically, because otherwise it's going to change based on where it runs. Let's just call it push. Sure. So the test runner, we do a deep equal go city dot configuration environment should be. I want to format that. Yeah, nice. Everything needs to be. I was going to do a find and replace because I don't like VS Code for the way they do find and replace. It's kind of. And then I have to go. Sugar. Cool. That's done. Oh, that's changing it back. Ah. So I think my pretty is configured on the editor level, not the project level. That's really annoying. I want you to go detect a local configuration. VSO configuration won't be used. Well, I'm not sensing that. What do you mean? I just did that. It's actually local configuration in pretty RC or editor config. I don't think that has that anyway. Okay. I don't see any prettier or editor config. I know there's a prettier key in the package JSON, but I don't think VS Code reads that. VS Code configuration will not be used. It seems like it is being used. Anyway, so we do the deep compare. So we say name is GoCD. Say service is GoCD. We say what we have. So we've got branch. We'll just call this null. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Commit is go revision, which is this one. Personally, I prefer to sort of access it directly. So if I was testing this, if I wanted to change this test, if I change this, if I change the test data, in my opinion, the test should not then fail if I change the test data. Because you're just changing the data. The test should verify that what comes out is related to what the data that was put in. You're testing the interface. So why would you say, oh, I'm going to change the test data because, I don't know, usually you wouldn't anyway, but let's say you've changed it. Now this test will fail, not because the test is wrong or the code is wrong, but because the test data setup is different to what you originally wrote the test for. It seems very odd and it makes the test very flimsy. Generally, I just don't think it's a good practice. For this, it's probably okay because these tests are very self-contained and very small. But otherwise, it just doesn't give me a good vibe. I would prefer, in this case, to just grab it directly from the Go revision. Or you do it a different way, where you actually set up all of these as not environment variables, as variables inside the test function, and you just say like, this is this, and then you go, is this equal to that? And that's how you do that. But I'm not entirely sure if that's how you want to do it. For now, we're just going to do it how they've been doing it, and yeah. So we'll just keep it the same, just to be safe. Not safe, but yeah. And now we do a deep compare. So we've got the commit, we've got the build, which will be the pipeline counter, which will be 1, 2, 3. We've got the build URL, which we need to figure out ourselves, and same with the job URL. So based on the code, we know it will be slash. Let's just copy this whole thing and just. I want to keep this the same as I would expect it. And then let's get rid of that. It's taking up all this space. And this is the pipeline name, which I think we called pipeline name. And then the Go pipeline counter, which would be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that should be the build URL. And then the job URL is the stage URL, basically. And we just put that in there. And we modify this to suit what it should be. So we put that. The pipeline name again is pipeline name. And pipeline counter. What do we set pipeline counter to? Pipeline counter is 1, 2, 3. And the stage counter is 4, 5, 6. So this is how often, this is how many times this stage has been run. So in GoCD, you can actually keep rerunning a stage, and it basically, the way it's set up is it will take the same materials, the same state of your inputs, and rerun the job exactly the same. So you gotta think of it like it's setting up a revision, and it will rerun it and go, okay, well this is run 2, using the exact same materials as what you used in the first run. And run 4, 5, 6 will be exactly the same again. At least that's my understanding. We're going to have an issue with this branch. Now, Ava, I've never used it before. The only testing framework I've used in JavaScript is Jest. Jest is pretty powerful. I quite like it. So I'm not sure how we could mock this function, basically. We don't want this function to run because it's going to change depending on where you're running the test cases. It's going to try and find a Git branch, and it's going to go, well, you ran this test on some branch that you created. It's not going to be master. But if I run it here, it might be master. So I think this test will fail. I wonder if there's any integrations in VS Code for Ava. Test Explorer. Run your Ava tests. This is kind of what I want. Snippets for Ava. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's kind of strange. This is like the exact same name, different guy, and this is newer, but there's only had 29 downloads, so I usually like to find things that are reasonably popular. It's at 1,000, so it's not too bad. But yeah, I've never used this Ava thing, this Ava testing framework. But I think we can run from the command line. And this will... So what's this NYC? What's NYC? Some package. Keywords, NYC. What are you? Istanbul. But why? What's NYC NPM? Istanbul, but what does it actually do? Spawn subprocesses. NYC. Add dev dependency. You can use npx instead of installing NYC, but you might get updates you're not ready for. Okay. So it's just like spawning a subprocess. Whatever. Or it is actually a command line interface, or it's providing that. So if we run nyc, what does it actually run? Ava. Yeah, it's not going to find it, obviously. Yeah, some scripts. What am I doing? So, can run it in npx. Let's see, Ava. Huh. Did it pass? OCD? Why? Plus undefined. Difference. Okay. I kind of want to get some help. This doesn't print any help. Okay, that's what I want to do. So I can actually say go city, probably have to say exact location. Sorry. Tests, services, go city. Yeah, but I just want you to run that. Why are you also giving me test coverage for everything else? Difference, undefined. Okay. What did I do wrong? Do go city configuration. I just have a bad feeling about this one. We just get rid of it. Let's see what it says. Oh, still undefined. Yeah, so it's like, oh, I wanted this, but it was this. Why? Go city configuration environment. Make it happy. That's not going to change it. But... So we do some tests. We've got Ava. This is actually... Oh, yeah, yeah. It's right there. So test... Oh, I never closed that. Is that right? No, hold on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So actually, this is what it gave me. And the branch is not even in there. Hold on. Is the branch in here? Yeah, it's master. Because it's actually, you're running it in this context of run master. So this code here actually runs. Just not what you want. You don't want this code to run because where you run the test is going to change the result of the test. Okay. We're going to have to figure out how we mock that. And I'm going to have to do some research in this Ava testing framework because I have no idea. Now, if you run this test, it's going to fail, but I'm ready for that. So if we run this, we're going to get... It's going to say, yeah, the difference is you said we're going to get a branch null, but actually it was branch master. So if we change this to master, it's going to work. Which is great. Statements, branches. It's not very much coverage. But I don't know what else you can cover because the only other thing is the detect function, but I don't think anyone else tests that. Maybe let's look at like GitHub. Yeah, configuration. Like the coverage is going to be fine because it's either that or test the detection one. Which we could do as well. We could actually detect, we could actually test that. And all it's going to return is a Boolean. So maybe let's do that now before we figure out how to do the mocks. So this would be the detecting we are in Go City. I like to be descriptive. Some people don't like being descriptive. It's really up to you, to be honest. Being descriptive is good because then you can see, oh, this is exactly what this test is actually trying to test. Obviously, barring the fact that the description is old, it was copy-pasted, which happens quite often, or whatever else. But we do deep equal. No. We probably don't want to do a deep equal. I don't know what it would be. Is there a... Yes, types. I like types. Types make JavaScript variable. Which is the whole reason that TypeScript exists, to make JavaScript variable, because you just write TypeScript and then it compiles to JavaScript. Yeah, so we got a bunch of functions. So we could go. Okay, so we could go t dot. Well, this is assertions. I don't know. I guess that is a this this thing is saying what? Subscribe. Yeah. The structure of this is above my knowledge, but let's format this and then change the. It's really strange. I don't know why it's doing that. It's like, oh, you've got double quote, you had single quote. I changed it back, and in the pretty output, it's like, oh, the VS Code configuration will not be used. We're using the local one. Using config file from this. That actually literally says right there what it's doing. So it's using that config, but it's still, it complains when I try to lint it. It doesn't work. Okay, whatever. Let's just roll with it. I want to go T. So there's this deep equal, which is here. But I could also do. There must be a true. Yeah. So we could go true. Go city got configuration environment, and I think that would work. There's no reason that wouldn't work. And then we run that in terminal. And then that should pass. One test failed. Error thrown. All tests and hooks must be declared synchronously. Cannot be nested within other tests. I don't think... Oh. I was going to say, I don't think it is nested, but it was. Okay. So we run that one. I think that would... No. I don't really know what I'm doing with this Ava thing. Value is not true. Oh. Yeah, I know. Of course that's not true. So it's an object. We need to detect. So that should be true. Yeah, that will return true. So 2 tests passed, 1 test failed. Value is not true? Really? Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. That was the last one. Yeah, 2 tests passed. That's great. And we got 100% coverage. So that's what we had to do. We just had to test this detection one. And I want to see what it does if we go. I prefer to say like what exactly this is. So should detect when environment is GoCD. Should not detect when environment. This is a bit overkill, but it is also good to cover all the bases. So we go T. T is false when the environment is something totally different. We just call null. Is that null pointer? That might null pointer actually. Yeah. 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 And null pointed, obviously, because null's like environment is not, it's not an object. We could just do an empty object. I think that should work. Because it's destructuring inside there. 1 test failed. Could not read property of undefined. Yeah, it needs basic. Let's empty environment. Because how does that work? Surely that would... We'd have to destructure that and... Cannot read property of undefined. Test environment is test. I feel like that would still fail, yeah. So is there no like guards? That seems kind of silly because then yeah, of course that doesn't if that doesn't exist then it doesn't exist. Or it's supposed to be wrapped. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be wrapped. It's just a bit strange. Go server URL undefined. But it's already an object. So an empty object. The environment's there. I don't know. Should not detect when environment is not Go City. Let's just leave that test out for now. I think it's a bit overkill anyway. Alright, so we've got that test. The only thing that I want to do now is... Yeah. We need to mock this. So surely Ava has some kind of way to mock. Right? It has to be mocking. It would be crazy if this didn't have mock. Lint rules. Give me something to do with mocking. Writing tests. I mean, it looks nice. I like this div, but other than that, I much prefer Jest. Okay. Ava, mock. Yeah, let's go with that. Module mocking? Request for comment? Okay. Module mocking, yes, it can be very powerful. It's very important too. The updates. I'm reluctant to add mocking to Ava itself. I'm more making internal changes. In Jess and Ava. I just closed it. I kind of hate when people do that. Mocking. What is this signer? Really? Okay. I might just use this if it's simple enough. Spies, stubs, and mocks. Cool. Ah, but then I have to install it in the project. I Look, I'm gonna give it a go. If it works okay, then just gets installed in the project. Not a big deal, to be honest. So let's install that. Oops. Okay. I hate those. I hate that. Okay, so we've installed. Should be probably a dev dependency, I guess. Yeah. I hate doing that. Sign in. Obviously, I can just copy it back, but I'll just do it this way. It's not a big deal. So install that one. Okay. Sorry. So we've got this sign-in plugin installed, which should do our mocking for us. And then, sorry, I'm just doing something else at the moment. All right. So we've installed sign-in, and we can use that. Does this commit package lock? Please tell me you commit the package lock. I wasn't really paying attention. They didn't commit the package lock. Fine. If you don't commit the package lock, whatever. That's your problem. So we've got this sign-in testing framework, which how is this guy using it? So he's importing the mock this returns that. Okay. So let's see if I can get this working. Go cd. I wonder if I have to mock it. I don't know how it would work. Mock dot. What was it? Oh no, mock the name and the function. So we mock the name. The name is maybe we can. I'm not sure really how this would work. Yeah, obviously I'm not going to do that syntax. And then we require, we go back to lib, git. Does that make sense? I don't know how that works with like module exports. But let's try it. So we're mocking git and we want to mock the branch function. And then what do they do? And then we dot return. So we could say, oh, this returns my branch. You never know. This might just work straight out of the box. Would be nice. I don't think it will, but let's see. Yeah. Mock.returns is not a function. Okay. Possibly just because of this. I'm going to use the same example we gave. which is basically this. This equals require that. Let's comment that out. Read file. Yeah. Dot returns. And we can return anything. It could just be a string, to be honest. But I think that's going to throw an error as well. Yeah. Okay. I need to read the docs on this sign on. Maybe it's on GitHub. Sign on. Sign on. Okay. Is use. Okay, I just show me the usage. Get started. Require sign in. Yeah. Fakes. I want mocks. Documentation. Mocks. Mocks are fake methods with pre-programmed behaviors. When to use mocks. Mocks should only be used for the method under test. In every unit test, there should be one unit under test. You control how your unit is being used and like stating expectations up front. Use a mock. If you wouldn't add an insertion of something, don't mock it, use a stub. Shouldn't have no more than one mock. Okay. I think I'm probably thinking of mock in a different way than they are thinking. Sign in dot mock. Maybe they're thinking like stub. I'm thinking in context of jest. This doesn't really make sense. Let's look at what stubs are. Test stubs are functions with programming behavior. Control method's behavior from a test to force the code down a specific path. Forcing a method to throw an error. Stub. I want you to like return. Okay, so we can create a stub. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so sign in, create stub instance. PubSub. PubSub.js. So they create a stub. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we should do. So stub callback. So we stub this, but I want to. basically mock some function. Like this function, this get function, I want to mock it, but it just doesn't seem right. Let's go back to mocks. Because what was this guy suggesting? This is from 2 years ago, but mocking should be decoupled from test runner? Yeah, sure. Whatever. It doesn't really work. Because this sign-in thing... Using sign-in to monkey patch isn't really practical. Can't mock default exports. You still have to import the real version of the thing you're mocking. When to not use mocks. I just want mock dot... Okay. So what are stubs? Test stubs are functions. Support full tests by API. Use a stub when you want to. Control methods behavior from a test to force a code. I think I was already looking at it. Yeah, I was already looking at stubs. Yeah. Documentation is kind of... No, I don't want that. Official docs, stub, object, method, function. You can pass a function argument that returns your desired value. Stub, object, method, dot calls fake. Okay, I wonder if I can do this then. Sign and stub. So if I go stub, does that bring me to, yeah, okay. And then we say, what? Stub object method. So we could say get, and we could say branch, calls fake. Return my branch. Okay. Does that work? Oh yeah. I think I just... Ah! Oh. Oh no. But it still says master anyway. Yeah. I don't know how this test runner works and like how this stub will work and stuff. I think I need to create a branch on mine and then open a PR. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Stubbing is nightmare. I'm going to call it quits soon. So I want to get my head around this. I don't know. Um, okay. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to spend a bit of time on this, I think, and then I want to either call it quits and come back to, well, I'll come back to it later on and just call it quits. Either say it's possible and we could just mock it or stub it or whatever you have to do in this testing framework or a different testing framework. To basically, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. From this perspective, think about it outside of any testing framework, whether you call it mocking, stubbing, spying, whatever. Think about it in a sense of what I want to do is take this library, this git.js, where I have this branch function, and I want to erase all of this. I just want to get rid of all of this. Effectively, I just go bam like this and say return what I want to return. It erases that. Erases the entire implementation, and I say when this function is called, return this. Don't do what's inside that function. Just let me tell you what I want you to return. What I want you to return. And then what that does is it allows you to mock, in the jest terminology that I'm using here, it allows you to mock all the interfaces on the unit that you're testing. So therefore you can actually just test how it interacts, and based on what you return in the mock determines how it behaves. And then you can say, well, because I return this, then I expect it to behave like this. And then if that expectation is met in the test on that unit that you're testing, then it passes. If that expectation is not met, then you can straight away just say, well, this fails. It doesn't work. This unit is wrong according to the test case. It allows you to just test that unit that you're testing. Because if you don't erase this, you actually have another dependency on, like, how does this work? You're actually testing not only the unit that you're testing, but also this piece. This unit itself as well is also being tested. And in this case, it doesn't work, because even if we were like, yeah, that's fine, we don't mind if that gets tested, it will change depending on where you run this test. So I want to erase that. If I can't, I don't think it's a big deal if we just get rid of this line. If it's such a big difficulty just to write the test case for this service, we're better off just getting rid of that, because there's not a lot of benefit of having the branch name in there, in my opinion. So I'll probably get rid of that. But for now, just before I go and sort of wrap this up, I want to see, because I thought I saw that they were testing the Git one. Yeah, they are. How do they do this? Let me just get rid of these. What are they doing? So well, I mean, they're actually testing it. But what is this? Tempe. What is Tempe again? Tempe. Random temporary file or directory path. Okay. Returns commit and branch from local repository. Yeah. So this test will actually just fail if you run it on a different branch. I don't think that's a good way to write tests. Because then it becomes so flimsy. Ideally, in an ideal world, this code should work on any environment configuration, any machine, any state that your Git repository is in, it should work. If you're on a different branch, this test case should pass. It shouldn't say, this test case only passes if you're a master. Because the code is not reliant on the branch being master. The code that you're testing isn't saying, I only allow the branch to be master. Because otherwise, this is what it would look like. You would literally to go like this, master. It doesn't make sense. that should always be mocked. But they obviously haven't set it up. I'll see if I can. If I can't figure it out, then either I just hard code it to master, or I get rid of that line, which makes me feel more comfortable in the Go CD. Get rid of that field. Just completely get rid of that if I can. I think I would rather get rid of that than hard code to master because it seems very strange. Let's format this and do a quick find and replace to get rid of these ones. And just go through all of that. Okay. So I checked that. Oh, this had a test as well. So how's this work? Yeah, so that's also the same. This test will fail as well if you're on a different branch. This is just... It's really not great, to be honest. Because why would you do it like that? Makes sense. You're basically saying this test is only valid if it's on the master branch. If it's on different branches, this test is invalid. Okay. That's fine. But kind of a... It's not a pointless test, but it's not a great test either. Alright, so I think I said it before, but finally now I've checked all the tests that I wanted to check. So I think I'm just going to call it quits. I'll probably do some more deeper research into sign-on and other mocking only frameworks that possibly can inject that mock into Ava somehow. And I'll probably do some more research. This request for comment just got completely closed. No one was interested in that at all. But I'll see if it's been brought up again. I'm sure it has been, because being able to mock in a testing framework is very, very critical, especially if you want to test your units properly. But yeah, so I'll do more research. I'll look into it. But for now, I'll leave it there, and I'll probably come back to it, finish this up, and give a rundown on what I found out and what I ended up going with. And then I think in part 2, we'll actually start the process of contributing back to the original project, which is what the point of this goal was. The point of this project was to commit back to these guys. So this guy that was managing this module, I want to open a PR. There's quite a few PRs, which is worrying. But I'll open a PR regardless, and I'll show that whole process of sort of how you open the PR, and I've never really done it before, so not across, contributing back to open source. I do PRs all the time during my normal day-to-day, but actually going from my Git repository, like a remote PR, into this guy's repository could be interesting. So we'll work through that together in part 2, whenever that is. Yeah, but I really do want to finish this project, and I think it's relatively straightforward. It's just these tests are a bit strange. We'll figure it out, and we'll come back to it. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.